Act 2, we're straining at the Medusa here. Quick recap.
Here we are, the same theme tune played half speed.
Thank goodness that noise has stopped. I thought it was going to split my head open. John? John, what's wrong? Stephen, come here.
Looks like I was caught in the middle of combing my hair, doesn't it?
What? Kenny, wake up. There's no time for jokes now.
I've never really heard anyone talk about Ruth Boswell. Was she, certainly in Doctor Who's history, in later years, the producer was a very prominent figure, very hands-on. Was that what she was like? Did you see much
I think
of
she
her?
was, yeah.
She was, yes. I mean, she took an interest in it, but as a producer, she didn't really have much to do with the creative side of it. I suppose she did. I mean, but producers are money people.
I think she tired of it after a while, because she did disappear, didn't she?
Yes. She did go on to produce one or two other things, but I don't think she
Yes,
produces
and she
now.
certainly did it before the Tomorrow People. She had several successful shows.
What about Brian Finch there? What,
Don't know any. I was just going to ask if anybody knows what happened to Brian Finch.
I don't think we ever met him, did we?
No, I don't think so.
Right, he's just said this is 1973.
Splendid!
Just I recognise the name. Was he a prolific TV writer around that time?
Honestly, don't know. I wasn't aware of it. He was.
That'd be a splendid addition to my
I mean, I think he's credited with co-writing the books, isn't he? Or co-writing the first.
Stop whining, boy. Why do you think we came here?
Oh, don't let him, Jedediah, please.
It doesn't matter, Peter.
Carol, there's no need to get so upset. They're not dead. Well, if they were, they would have fallen over or collapsed or something.
Like dead people do.
Well, why are we still frozen and you're not? I'm sorry, I don't quite get this.
Because they've frozen everyone on Earth.
And you weren't in Earth at the time?
No, we weren't. We were up in
I
outer space.
see. So you're deliberately leaving me frozen so you can take over again.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, look, I'm turning up a heat.
I'm going to jaunt outside for a minute and see what's out there.
Oh, no, that was a dodgy one. There was a double image of her. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Copping, come and help.
Copping could help.
Copying could help.
Copping could help. Copping could help.
I know that. Take
Yes, got this, Coggin.
Now, Peter.
Well, I'm sitting down now. Why am I sitting down?
She's put you there.
She's put me in a very camp pose there. Look at it.
What's going on out there?
It's her revenge.
Revenge of Jedediah.
Stephen, what's up?
He's playing a joke, is he?
I think you better come and have a look for yourself.
And leave the others alone here?
He was trying to remember his line. That's
What
what
was
it was.
going on there then? Were you just...
I've just been outside to have a look around
But why did you freeze like that?
because I was upset.
Because
and
he's just
shocked.
seen this postcard.
Yes, exactly. I've been landed.
Everywhere I went.
Why
It's
didn't
a postcard.
you tell me?
I didn't think you'd believe me. I could hardly believe it myself.
But it's like the day the earth
Yes,
stood
this
still,
doesn't
except
quite work, does it? We're also, the proportions are all wrong. We're huge, aren't we?
You're
They're in
enormous.
the background.
Yes,
Yeah, but
exactly.
they're
Where's
not
your suspension of disbelief,
They're not
honestly?
that far in the background.
No, fair enough. At least there's no problem with them moving.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, look, the pigeons are all.
Well-
You're doing a sort of tour of famous postcards, aren't you?
Right, yes, well, Ken Livingstone's got rid of those now, hasn't he?
Do you think the whole of
Quite
England
right.
is like this, Stephen? With us the only people moving?
Get rid of the pigeons of Trafalgar Square.
Not just England, look. Even the clouds. Everything has stopped.
Except us.
I should have bird shit
She
drop on my
noticed.
head, actually. It's like, except for that one pigeon.
Careful, it's a priceless treasure. Where's Peter? Can't get back
A
without
little
him.
bit of humour there.
Well, an
Brave.
attempt at it, anyway. So, a labyrinth somewhere.
The Tower of London.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's where the crown jewels are, I believe.
Help me! Somebody please come and help me!
He's obviously dying to go to the loo by the look of his...
It does, the way he's talking as well.
No one.
Another postcard.
One's alive. Help me.
It's only 4:15.
I was just looking at that and thinking that was a different time from some other building we saw.
They don't troop the colour, they do that in the morning.
They weren't trooping the colour, they were changing the guard.
Was that changing the guard?
Yeah.
No, Trooping the Colour's the other one.
They do that once a year.
Once a year.
Now that dates it there. Look at that sort of.
What, you mean docks? You mean docks?
That's Dickensian times, that is.
When London had a dock.
Yeah.
There's where the eye is, isn't it? Or a little bit further?
No,
Much
we're not.
further up.
Is it?
Tower of London.
That's all trendy apartments now. There. That's Butler's Wharf.
Back to here again, where Kenny was in the first one. They're slightly overdoing the. In fact, that looks. By the look of that sunspot there, this is a shot out of the previous episode.
Do you think it's a trap? No.
A few marks on that postcard.
No. Let me go.
Got hold of him in a bit.
You poor Richard had a bit
Kindly
of a-
remove your thumb, please. That isn't my thumb, chum.
Hurry up, you mechanical idiot. Jedediah, bring out my spoils.
No,
Hurry.
we're not going yet. You did what I asked you, Peter.
Oh, I thought he'd left a bit behind there.
If it works.
Oh, we've been lured into a trap.
Help me.
You get left behind.
Yeah,
and
I get
Carol
knocked
gets
out.
Taken. Now you get accused of stealing it. By the beefeater. Cool, another duck governor.
Cool, where's he gone? And he's taken the jewels.
Hey, which one of you's playing jokes then? I was over there a minute ago.
John, Kenny, are you all right now?
Yeah, but we seem to have jaunted across the room. Even Ginge. What happened?
What happened
I
to
don't
you?
really know. And Jin didn't jaunt. I carried him.
Sure, you had your reasons, kid. Hey, flippin' heck, what happened to you then?
We had a fight in the Tower of London.
With Darth Vader.
What was you doing there? Driving
You've got,
across
you've
My
got a
proud.
little bleeding
I
nose.
know, I've got a bleeding nose. It's great. I was beaten up by Darth Vader. I was very proud of that.
Of course. Is there any reason why I shouldn't be?
Like being hit over the head with a guitar from Keith Richards.
No, Stephen.
Did you hear the humming noise?
Yes. Is that connected?
We heard it all right.
Look, what is all this? And where's Carol? Why hasn't she jaunted back with you?
Because she can't. Because she's been kidnapped.
You tried to kill the girl.
What's that to you?
Kill her and you can upset the whole balance of time. She's from the 20th century and we have to get her back there. She could be one of my ancestors.
She's no ancestor of yours, Robovsky, and we're not taking her back. She is one of the Tomorrow people.
Well, how does he know that she's not an ancestor? If he's 500 years hence?
Because he'd be a tomorrow person. Oh, no, that doesn't follow, does it? Really?
Well, I don't know. I think it was said in an earlier episode that the human race could go either way, didn't they say that?
Yes.
And since he doesn't know about the Tomorrow people, and he's from 500 years in the future, that suggests that nothing much came of the Tomorrow people.
Indeed. He's never heard of them, yes. Quite right.
Ready?
Yeah.
Stephen?
So we in fact know that they're all going to die.
Carol, can you hear us? Come in if you can hear us, Carol.
I think this is all quite good stuff. I don't remember them doing that in the later episodes.
Yes, they did. Remember doing all
They're
this.
mixing all the faces.
Yeah.
Are they?
It was quite a joy because we all had a camera each on us. And everyone was happy around the table.
Is he taking part in the...
No.
No.
No, clever thing to say, shouldn't be.
Let's write in and complain if he is.
Yes, exactly. So what do you think Hell's Angels doing?
I think so.
You would have thought that they would just have stuck a force field around them, wouldn't you, in 500 years' time?
Stephen,
They're
where's
bothering with
Stephen?
bars.
The other one, who's with you?
Yes,
Bits of
where
wood,
is
you
he?
mean?
They didn't bring him.
Didn't say they were iron.
Where are we?
I don't think you'd understand.
She's very good at that sort of watery-eyed look, isn't she?
Very pretty.
Doe-eyed look.
Yes, I don't remember thinking of her as very...
No, I didn't at the
pretty.
time either, but...
Because she's quite homely, isn't she? But there's something
Yes.
quite delightful
yeah,
about her.
I mean, definitely Mary Poppins-ish about her.
Yes.
You were wearing a space.
Similar hairstyles, these two.
You were outside the time freeze.
I wish he'd do his shirt up.
What
It's
were
quite
you doing on
off-putting.
Earth in the 20th century?
Well,
You
not
had
to
no
everybody,
right.
apparently.
He is very pale, though, isn't
He
he?
is pale. I mean, they could have tanned him up a bit.
Yeah. I mean, his chest is much paler than his face.
20th century is my date. I take it we're in the...
I never noticed such things.
Yes, but
I'm sure you did, Philip.
No.
Security of your booth, you
I
probably
did
didn't.
not.
Where are we? What date is it now?
What did you do to pass the time in your
how do you
booth?
know about time travel?
You had a
I
crossword.
read, I presume. I wrote, I presume.
Yeah.
I don't quite remember. But I always had to be on you know, stand by in case something happened, and because it was all done in sequence.
It's horrible. It shouldn't be allowed.
Possession of one is illegal throughout the galaxy. I'd like to know.
Of course, you didn't have to learn your lines, did you?
No, never. That's why I can do all this without worrying about it. I could read all the scripts straight off.
How do you think I feel? I've lived with it for months.
Months?
You say you're from the 20th century on Earth.
I wonder what he's doing now.
Don't know what Richard Spate's doing.
He was acting until fairly recently. I got a letter from him, but I don't think he realised he was writing to me.
Oh, really? What, sending out his CV?
Looking for representation.
Because Johnny died, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
The first telepaths called themselves that.
He's heard of the Tomorrow
But the
People.
records show that the Tomorrow People didn't start to emerge.
He has heard about the Tomorrow People, so why hasn't the other...
Until the 21st century. So why aren't they here now?
Well, we're in the 21st century now.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
You said they didn't emerge until then.
Well, that's right. They didn't do the CDs till 2001, did they?
Oh no,
See?
no,
That's
all
what it's all
comes
about.
clear.
Yeah.
Until the Great Emergence.
Great emergence, when everybody went out and bought the DVDs and the CDs, and we all emerged from our little shells that we've been lurking for the last 30 years.
If you're harmed in any way, thousands, perhaps millions of our people will simply never have existed.
Yes, he's got the hang of it, you see. This concept came up many a time in the series. Even if you kill a fly in the future, you could affect the whole of the past. Oh, that's where the idea for Flintlock came from.
Tomorrow, people, what is your connection with them?
I've met them.
Quite an impressive array of props, isn't it?
Yes, nice little collection of antiquities. But of course, to make it really work, they should have some things from our future, which of course is his past.
That's true.
Those are all the funny things we don't recognise. I think the thing that was going round, wasn't that the thing that Jedediah kept using to increase the Cyclops' supply of noxious air?
Well, it sounds like a different
I'm
what's
greeted
legal,
by
say.
blank expressions. Fade out slowly.
Could have been, yes.
Sorry, I was
Adapted.
watching
I mean,
myself.
all kinds of things were adapted and changed slightly.
Go dim,
And
please, Tim.
used again.
That time is a continuous stream of unbroken action, like this.
Oh.
Now suppose time isn't like that at all.
What do you mean?
Suppose time, like this film, is a series of frames, overlapping one another by a billionth of a second perhaps, but still simply frames, giving the illusion of continuous motion.
They don't overlap one another, they're quite separate, aren't they?
Now then, suppose someone was capable of freezing that frame, like this.
We'd have exactly the same conditions as Carol and I found.
Right. And while you and Carol were in hyperspace, and we on Earth were caught in this so-called time freeze, somebody was selecting that particular
So-called
frame
by
in
you.
time and stopping it.
The people that have kidnapped Carol.
And they've taken the crown jewels. I mean, that's quite a major event, isn't it, the crown jewels, isn't it?
Well, it's been done before. Captain Blood did it in 1670, I think. It was easier in those days.
It was easier in those days,
It's magic because he may have been a time traveller. In fact, he may have been this character,
That's very
trying it
true.
300 years earlier.
My word.
Now, we never thought of that, did we?
No. I think there's a script there.
I think there is.
Yeah.
My dear Rabowski, I don't forget for one moment.
You're in the wrong building. The rest of us do.
He thought his knob was coming off then. He was checking it.
Sounds rather grand, doesn't it? In fact, the full title is The Eternal Order of Guardians.
The Guardians of what?
The time lanes. They're the routes by which
They're like intergalactic traffic wardens, don't they? Guarding the time lanes. Not allowed in a time lane between 9:30 and 10:30, Gav.
Time lanes need guardians.
Well, when they were first discovered...
He wears jewellery, doesn't he?
Who does?
This chap here.
Peter.
Well, it was very, it was very much the thing in the year 2534.
He looks like the lead singer from The Sweet.
Yes, he does, doesn't he? I remember thinking that.
Going
at the
into
time.
Blockbuster or something.
Ah, it's my TV remote control. I'm selecting
You hear
channel
the noise
5.
it makes?
They're
I'm
not
wondering why there isn't a channel 5 yet.
Have you got all that, Tim?
Yes?
Can we have your conclusions, please?
Buy a new calculator.
About the time freeze is a likely possibility.
But you see, you joke, but we didn't. There weren't even pocket calculators at this time. They were desk. They had desk calculators. Do you remember?
That wasn't a real calculator,
When you pull
surely.
the thing
That's a calculator you've got there.
No, I don't think it is. It was made to. But it was a prop. It wasn't real.
What you want with this young
Yes, I don't remember having calculators until the late 70s.
That's right.
My God, I believed a pearl.
But not for you.
And you have never heard of the beta ray, of course.
Heard of the Beetlejuice, but not the...
Bit of a tummy problem there.
Yes, I think so. He's not holding it in.
Old Dave.
He's sucking. There's a target on his trousers as well.
Yes.
He's forgotten to put his... He's done the tie, but forgotten the shirt.
He was a big boy, eh?
But as you say, he's painted his nipples.
Yeah. Silvered them out.
So you could see the point.
I believe, Peter, you are familiar with a Medusa.
A Medusa?
It's rather unpleasant feeding habit. Particularly when it has been...
It likes consuming small boys, does it?
Yes, it molests him.
No.
Oh, no, tell him, Peter, please.
That's right, they bung him in the cage. There
Here
he comes.
now. There's the full-size one, you
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, well, that's okay. I mean, just about get away with that, with a lot of intercutting.
And they do a lot of this sort of cross.
Oh dear, that's pretty
dissolving.
nasty.
All right.
That'll give kids nightmares.
I remember finding that quite...
Now, you see that, but isn't that much more frightening, looking at her face reacting to what we think the Medusa's doing, rather than seeing a
Absolutely.
silly...
Although that scream was his.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
He screams like a girl.
Yeah.
But her look of horror was...
Yeah.
said it all, really, didn't it?
You're right, it did make the moment more...
This man is having his whatnots removed by this vile creature.
Carol, can you hear us?
What's that round on the front there, in the foreground?
It's a reflection on the back of a seat.
Oh, yes.
Good grief, what an extraordinary... Yes, sir, it is. Doesn't it look weird?
Yes, I thought it was a scream.
Careful, that wobbled the table there.
Is that better?
It's much better. Can you get a bearing? It's urgent.
Yes, they never screwed that table down, did they?
No. Now that's really good, that. So that's what they should have... That's what I mean when they say, you know, it's got nothing to do with money or special effects. You can shoot it differently.
Fetch Medusa.
I'm a prisoner in a spaceship.
Where?
Somewhere in...
Now, how come she can do this now?
Because the Medusa's with...
Elsewhere.
him. Yeah, it's...
Enjoying a small boy.
No, too
Oh,
late.
there it is.
We've lost her.
Someone has erected an interference shield.
Let's try again.
Never a truer word
Carol,
spoken.
can you hear us?
Very eggy pause there.
Useless, she's gone.
Any ideas,
Tense
Tim?
pause, I
I will
think.
report back when I have analyzed what little information
Did I say
we
it's
have.
useless, she's gone, or she's
Harry.
useless,
Well,
she's
where
gone?
is she? Somewhere in hyperspace, but we don't know where. That's why we can't jaunt her back.
Very good for the neck.
Didn't know I was a chiropractor in my early life, did you? or was it an osteopath? I'm sure.
We need him.
He doesn't like to put that knob down at all, does he?
Last time you remember your place. You're
Something very nasty happens to it later.
Does it? But why does he always walk around with it?
It's a symbol of his power.
As a snivelling, spineless example
his rhythm
of a
stick,
species
then?
that should have been extinct centuries ago.
It's Field Marshal's baton.
How dare you? You have no right.
Oh, here we go.
Oh dear.
From now on, you will take orders from me.
You're quite right.
Yes, you're quite right.
No.
You're on
There
it.
was too much disturbance in hyperspace.
Why don't we jaunt up and search for her?
It won't help, Kenny. Carol isn't even in our time.
Where is she? 500 years away, I suppose.
That's about right, Ginge.
Never a truer word.
Carol is in the 26th century.
Wow.
In the year 2525.
Peter, look at me.
There's all this cage acting going on, isn't there? There's a lot of this in this episode.
It's a very poor collection of telepaths he's got, this guy, after all these years, isn't it? Got one by accident.
I don't want to think about it.
Together we've got power over that thing.
What did he do to you?
It can hurt you so long as we linked.
Makes no difference. They'll separate us and that will be worse.
They can't. They've only got one Medusa. And if they do separate us, one of us will always...
Well, surely they could clone the Medusa. That must be a piece of cake by 25, mustn't it?
Eddie Carr's a
What's
monster.
that?
To clone the Medusa.
That's true.
It's impossible. He was an android. He was destroyed when the Cyclops spaceship blew up. He doesn't even look the same.
Eddie Carr probably made himself look like an android.
There we go, the old shape changer.
He must be a shape changer.
Yeah.
He can look like anyone he wants.
Yes, bite the bottom lip. That's always a good
You think
good
I'm
sign.
a fool, don't you? Just because I have to eat.
Oh, doesn't the other character have to eat then?
No, he's a robot, isn't he?
Oh, of course he is.
It's the old shape charge.
So he just needs an occasional cup of oil, does he, or what? Stop him squeaking.
Well, he hasn't laid out his table. There's even nothing at the end. Jedediah's end.
hadn't noticed that. I missed that completely.
Well, but he's a robot.
Yeah, I suppose.
He was that, the mad robot with the burnt head.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean also that he doesn't need to eat even in human form.
And he's programmed to obey me. You understand? Me. Don't bother to try and torture the boy again. He'd sooner die than tell you.
I thought torture was a very old-fashioned concept by then as well. Got truth drugs even now, haven't they?
Oh, look, it's worth a try. Come on, Peter, let's thought link and see if we can quell its mind.
It hasn't got a mind.
It's a tomato.
So what they want to do is matter over mind, isn't it? Yeah.
We can't pass that.
What's the
Is that a 13-amp plug in the side there, just to keep him
You
warm?
have it too. It's a barrier in our minds. It prevents us killing.
We don't have to kill it, only subdue it.
We could give it to London Zoo.
Come on, Peter, please.
All right.
Let's see if we can touch hands.
Well, I think it's fairly obvious they can.
They can't kill. Those stupid, ill-fated inhibitions they have. Well, they'll suffer for it this time. How funny. They can't kill. I can, though. Oh, I'll show them. Yeah.
But you see, even the concept of eating real food is a bit... I mean, surely by then we'll be eating...
Well, he lives in the past, though, doesn't he?
Yes,
So he
that's
wants
true.
to be a Henry VIII.
Well, that was a bit easy, wasn't it?
You tried to photograph the spaceship that Carol is in, didn't you?
But you said she wasn't up there.
She isn't now.
Then how could I have seen the ship?
You picked up her voice, although it was 500 years away, didn't you?
Yes.
Same principle applies.
But how does one move from hyperspace in the present to hyperspace in the future?
By the
One
fourth
move.
dimensional drift.
Come again?
Well, you've heard of the three dimensions.
Yes, John knows all about it.
What, you mean 3D, like
He's a
this?
clever closet.
He's a clever
I think he
guy.
went a bit bonkers all those years he was a Tomorrow person on his own.
Yes.
It must have had a strange effect on him.
been-
What do you think? Did you ever think about that period in his life?
He did make a mistake once. He thought he was wrong when he was right.
In time?
Right. Could well be that hyperspace is the key to time travel.
What I saw out there wasn't from our bit of hyperspace at all. Well, not our bit in time, that is.
No. Why look so concerned?
The inflation was a problem even then.
Certainly was, wasn't it?
And what's he trying to demonstrate with this?
Now, let me show you a little party trick.
Oh, it's the old vacuum jobby, isn't
Make
it?
the balloon blow up and burst without putting any more air into it. Watch.
Don't remember this at all.
Yes, you don't remember this?
Nope. This must have given them the idea for the
Bang.
living skins.
Yeah.
Expands until it...
Blue.
Simple. And, of course, the same thing would apply to a human being put in there.
Quite nasty, isn't it? The kids' programme.
Very nasty.
You can put me in there, I still won't tell.
Oh, not you, Peter. You're far too
Going
valuable.
to give him a blow-up job, isn't he?
That's right. It's the girl.
Oh, it's a girl. She hasn't got a
She's very brave, though.
She is.
That is correct. Unless you tell me, Peter.
Peter, don't tell him. Whatever happens, don't
Tell him, no, please, don't, please.
This would be a good point to...
Yeah.
Yes, to end the programme. So I was just thinking, dramatic moment, yes.
That's it.
Very good.
Roger Bisley, not Beasley.
Bisley.
Maybe pronounced bees.
It's an interesting episode. I thought it was quite slow, actually.
There's no bees like Roger Bees. So who... Oh, the Medusa had a man in it, did it? I suppose it must have done.
Yes, when it moved on,
Yeah.
I suppose. Marks out of 10 for that episode, yes?
I reckon about.
Are we talking about performances or
Yeah,
individuals or
the whole
overall?
thing, I reckon
No, I
about
thought it was all right.
five.
Just wasn't happy with Medusa, but it was okay. No, I thought it was quite good.
I prefer the outside location shots. It's just when they're stuck in a studio, it just seems a bit. They don't get around a bit.